Do you believe God exists or are you an atheist? Listen this and see if this challenges your thoughts. Atheism simply means the absence of belief in the existence of God or gods. But note that not necessarily the disbelief in religion also. Many don't notice this nuance and many might completely deny religion also, thinking that these religions have become the causes for the fights among the people, the violence, the clashes we see. And these religions have also become the shield for the government to hide behind and brainwash people to their benefit. Well, I was no different than thinking the same way until recently. But this is not the truth. Religion is not the reason behind all these problems, and I'll prove you why. The real reasons are uneducated people. And be careful when I said education, because education fundamentally is not passing school or college. At least not for me. The first goal of education should be make one a good person and make their minds develop enough so that they can use logic, reason, intellect and emotion to anything presented before them. And all these things are many light years away from the Indian education system. Coming back, so even if religion would have not existed, they would have been using some other stories to brainwash people. And currently they don't need to do so because they already have stories too deep rooted in our minds to brainwash about. So what could be better than this? The story is an emotion we all grew up learning and watching. So have this thing clear in your mind that religion is not the cause for all these clashes going on, problems and people fighting with each other and government using these religions to benefit themselves and get their votes and all. Religion is not. Because if you think these problems would not have existed if religion did not, then you're wrong. They would have been using different stories or even creating stories to spread their propaganda. Okay, here is an analogy for this. Suppose a man murders someone with a knife. So would you say that knife is the cause behind the murder? And banning that knife, and if knife would not have been created at the first place, this murder won't be happening. No, of course not. Then the person would have used an axe to murder. He can use a rock, he can use a gun, he can use these blades. So it's bullshit to say that knife is the cause. Knife was made for some good works like cutting an apple. So the problem here is not knife, it's the person itself who is murdering. And similarly, here the problem is uneducated people. And keep in mind the education's definition I told you, because education is something different for most of the people. The thing here is that these problems will continue to arise as long as these people would exist, as long as these politicians would see the potential to brainwash such people. And that's why it's very, very important to educate your kid. And again, the education's definition. Overall, as long as we have the people who don't have intellect, these people will always create the opportunity to be misused by politicians or any other person actually. See, the religion has just added stories to the values, cultures, ethics or celebrations that had existed long before than the religion itself. So why to add stories? Does that make any sense? Well, it does. And it does to an extent that our whole lives would have been black and white without these stories. And I'll prove to you why these stories are so important to us and how they have filled life into the world we live in. But that's for the next part.